Okay, so hey guys, and welcome back to another Axel 72 video, and in today's video I'm back with another interview, and I'm here with Coach Andy. Andy, how are we?
Yeah, I'm good, Alex. I'm good. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Yes, it is a real pleasure to have you on, mate, and so if you are new around here and you haven't subscribed, please do so, like the video if you do like the video, and let's get straight into it. So, I'm going to start off with my first question being that, how did you get into coaching?
I got into coaching probably about 33 years ago. Just, I don't know, just wanted to get involved and help out. And so that's how I started. I've worked at a lot of clubs, helped out. And over the period of time, I wanted to get more of an insight. How do people train people? How do people conduct themselves? Look at patterns and what people do and what people don't do, and like an apprenticeship. And I'd done that until I was ready to open my own club.
Yes, indeed, and now you have got your own club. You've got two clubs. You've got your pro am and your amateurs, and so let's speak about your amateurs. I mean, you do some great work with the amateurs there, and so what's the whole kind of background and the story with that gym?
I started Evolve Boxing Academy in my back garden at my house. Probably, I don't know, maybe about 13 years ago, roughly about 13 years ago. And I was training at a club in High Wycombe, and a few of the boys used to come to my house and train in the back garden with me. We had a little matted area where we could move bags and some weights and bits and pieces. And then 6 years ago, I was involved with two people called Deirdre and John Lay. Sat down with them and spoke about this idea I had, and they invested some money. I invested some money. We found a unit, a double-story unit, and we moved into it 6 years ago. I converted it from offices and warehouse space into a two-story building, which the bottom half is all matted and got bags and bits of equipment, and upstairs it's got ring, an 18-foot ring and some weights, and it's gone really well. So Evolve Boxing Academy went really, really well, and I started Evolve Elite then offer that when some of my amateurs turned professional, and we went off for that. So at the moment I've got 7 professionals.
Indeed, and just to kind of speak a little bit more about your amateurs, you do a lot of charity work with that, and so can you speak about what the charity work you do with that is?
Yeah, so we made a decision between me, Deidre, and John that I wanted to give back to the community. So what I didn't want to do was set up a gym so it's a money-making machine, and I think a lot of people do that, and not knocking them for that, but I didn't want that. What I wanted to do was feed boxing to the community. So there's a lot more to boxing than people actually realise. It's a lot of people it's a gruesome sport, it's a violent sport. Most people who do it are thugs, and I hear loads and loads of stuff. But I just wanted to prove to my local community that boxing is a family. It's we're united. We can help kids who are being bullied. We can help kids who bully to understand why that's not a good thing to do. Discipline, respect, manners. I apply all of them tactics to all our classes. And I could have 20 up to 26 youngsters between the age of 7 to about 14, downstairs training, and not a word will come out of them. As soon as they walk in for 45 minutes, they're there to train. They're not there to talk and play on machines and phones and the rest of it. And it's just, giving them a little bit of discipline.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's I work with I do some work with CAMS. I've worked with the police, first time offenders. I've worked with special unit schools. I help out quite a few ADHD children. And I've helped out adults, people who've had problems and issues through boxing, and that's what the charity part has offered Amersham.
Yeah, no, that's a great story. It's great to hear what you're doing. And so, how big would you say your amateur gym currently is? How many, if you could give a roundabout number of how many fighters you think you might have in there at the moment?
At the moment, people who are actually registered, I think we're up to about 10. I think up to about 10 we've got registered now. And we potentially we've probably got about 40. But, registered ones who are ready to fight, I think is coming up to about 10 now.
Okay, great. And so just for anybody who might be around your local area, what is the area in which you coach?
I'm in Amersham in Buckinghamshire. It's HP6FB. It's evolve_boxing_academy on Instagram. All our information's on there. So if anybody's in the local area, that want to come down and join in, there's no problem at all. There is a waiting list with the amateurs because we've only got a small building. So I don't have loads and loads and loads of people. We've got a bit of a waiting list. I don't think there's that many on it at the moment. I think there's about 15 on the waiting list at the moment. But yeah, it's make an inquiry. You never know.
Indeed. And so now just moving on to the professional boxing side of things. I mean, you said 7 fighters now, and you've got a couple big names in there. You've got 2 Southern Area champions, and so let's just speak about how big of an achievement is it to train these big champions. And I mean, I know you've been around them and been with them, and you've seen them get built up to this point, and how good is it to see that they're reaching their potential?
It's a satisfying feeling. It's for me as a coach. It's about their success. I want them to be successful. I don't want them to be a professional boxer, put in all the work that they have to, and then when they retire, walk away with nothing. I want them to have something. So Jamie was in the amateurs. He was a heavyweight champion. He won the Haringey Gold, Haringey Silver. He got to the semis of the elites. Have I missed out anything? If I have, I apologise, Jamie. Jamie he was the first person to turn pro with me. Jamie Smith, he's a cruiserweight. He has had 7 professional fights now. He lost one on something. It was on the Boxer, the Contender Series, 3-round fights. He won the first one, had a 20-minute break, went out for the second one, and I think he was just so hyped up and excited about the stoppage that everything just went out the window. He lost on points, but he's had 6 wins and 5 stoppages. He's a current Southern Area champion. And he is fighting for an English title on the 17th of June at the York Hall. All my fighters are under Steve Goodwin, the Goodwin Boxing Group. Brilliant outfit. Loads of people have loads of issues with loads of people, but Steve has never done anything wrong to me. He's always stuck by his word. He has, got us out loads of times. We're fighting every 3 months. All my fighters are out every 3 months. But that's Jamie. And just while we're on Steve, I'd just like to say, Steve, if you're watching this, thank you for everything, and your whole team. That everything that you do for us. Thank you very much. Now the other 2, I've got 2 twins, Lewis and Courtney Frimpong. Lewis fights at 57 kilos. He is the current Southern Area champion. He's fighting for an English eliminator on the 17th of June. Then I've got his brother Courtney. He fights at 61.5, sorry. And he has, this is going to be his 4th pro fight. Then I've got Patrick Gill, my son. He's had 5 now. I believe it's 5, and he's on number 6, and he's out on the 17th of June as well. I've got Juliet Hallwood, who has had 2. She's had a really bad knee injury. She's coming back on the 24th of June. And the lovely thing with women's boxing is Jules is rated 18 in the world after 2 fights. So yeah, it's it's still an achievement.
Yeah.
There isn't a lot of women in her pool, but still a big achievement. She fought around 64, but we're going to bring her down to about 61, 61.5. Then I've got Junior, who's just signed up with me. Junior's had 1 fight under me. He's had 3 altogether. He's a very elusive fighter. Very eye-catching to watch. He's got a bright future in front of him. Definitely got a bright future. And then I got Yazza. I think you interviewed him yesterday or the day before. He's just joined me. He's an 8-0 fighter. He's out on the 24th of June, and Junior is out on the 17th of June. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. But Yazza's out on the 24th of June. He's going to have his second 6-round fight, and we're going to try and line up a title, a Southern area or an English title in September for him. That's what we're working along. He was fighting at welterweight, but we're going to drop him down to 63.5. Another elusive fighter. Very eye-catching. He's I don't know, like a Prince Nazim sort of movement about him. It's they've all got strengths in different ways. They're all totally different fighters. But that's the beauty of coaching, is adapting. I don't like having one set system and straightforward for everybody. And all my fighters are totally different. They fight totally different. So yeah, that's my merry little crew.
Nice. It's a great stable you've got, and just for yourself, I mean, when you are coaching these fighters, and you've been coaching, like you said, certain ones for quite a while now. How important is it for you to have this kind of close relationship with your fighters?
I just got to watch what I say so I don't get emotional, start crying on screen. I get very emotional. They're my world.
Yeah.
They're my world. And, if you ever interview my son will tell you I don't treat him any differently to the rest. They're all my children.
Yeah.
They're all my children. I want the best for them. I want them to be successful. I want them to tell their children, they were a pro boxer and this is what they've achieved and this is what they've done. And, I want to be a part of that. I want to watch them grow, not just as boxers, but as people, marriages, buying houses, having children, getting invited to their little parties, and it's family. Evolve Boxing Academy is family.
That's brilliant. That's amazing. And so I just suppose for when you are looking for other pros, and if you have pros kind of approaching you to ask coaching, what characteristics do you want to see from a up and coming pro that wants maybe coaching from you? Are you wanting to see like determined fighters that are passionate about the sport?
Yeah, but it's I'm a stickler for time. If you make a plan, stick to it. Yep. Because I believe if you can't keep time, you're not an organised person. Yep. Be loyal to your word. A lot of people talk, but their actions prove something totally different. So I'd rather someone, don't make me loads of promises, don't tell me loads of lies. I will help anybody get anywhere. But you have to give me 100. Timekeeping. Do the runs you're meant to be doing, do them. I've got a dietitian, Jack Coke, who's he works with all of my people, brilliant dietitian. I'd encourage them to sign up to him. I've got Michelle Nelson and Mickey Lloyd, who help me with the pros. 2 up and coming coaches themselves. They help me out. I've got Eva, my partner. She's a Pilates instructor. She's involved with them. So I've got, a very good team. I've even got Fabrice. He's a sports analyst. So, anything to do with the mind, he's there. He comes to most of the sessions, sits there, he listens, he talks. So I've got a really good team around me. So whoever wants, I've got 7 fighters now. I don't think I could go over 10. I think if I went over 10, then I'm going to water down what I'm doing. So yeah, I've got 3 places, but I wouldn't just take people willy-nilly.
Of course. That's interesting and very fair enough. And so just for coaches, I always like to ask any coach that comes on there, just kind of your thoughts. I mean, like you said, you've got this amateur gym and it's all going very well in that kind of aspect. But what is your thoughts on the Olympics and the whole reasoning behind that kind of ending, seemingly by 2028, that ending and being cut from the Olympics?
If it's true, and it definitely does happen, I think it's a big disaster for pedigree boxing. Yes, ground level, the ABAs and everything is it's still good, it's still at a high level. But when you get to the Olympics, it's a different level. It's elite level, and the growth for a boxer who gets into that program and what they can achieve as a professional. They get catapulted. It's all going to go. It's going to affect a lot of people, and I think it's going to have a massive effect on boxing. So yeah, it's unfortunate. It is unfortunate.
Indeed. And so just also on the kind of professional side of things with boxing, I mean, you see a lot of big fights maybe not being made so much at the moment because of the politics of boxing, and I just kind of wanted to know your thoughts on the politics of boxing and the current state of boxing.
I'll be totally honest with you. The politics of boxing, and maybe I shouldn't say it, but it's a load of bullshit. I remember back when Duran, Sugar Ray, Marvin Hagler, Hearns, Tyson, Lennox Lewis, them boys would fight anybody. If you're a world champion, fight anybody, who's up at that level, anywhere in the world. The best should fight the best to see who the best is. Not, oh, well, I'm not going to fight him and avoid him. And do that when you're building your record. When you're brand new, you're going to fight, journeyman, and you're going to build yourself up, and then you're going to get a 50-50. But, you study who you're fighting and you think, yeah, you know what, we stand a bit more of a better chance. And when you're building a fighter, there's no problem with that. But when if any of mine get to that world level, unfortunately, money, it dictates. Well, we're not taking that fight if we don't get 60 million. Well, take that fight and get 58 million. It should be about the fight. Definitely. It should be that, when they finish, they go, you know what, I fought the best that was around in that era. And I beat everybody, and I was the best at that time. But I don't know. I don't think it's so much the boxers. I think it's the promoters. I think the promoters stop things, block things, and have a different notion. That's my opinion. I might be totally wrong.
No, of course, that is a very good opinion. I appreciate that you're saying that. And so I'll leave with this final question, which I always like to ask you. You've got a little bit of a platform here. Would you like to shout anything out?
I don't know all the sponsors off the top of my head, but anybody that sponsors any of my team, and they haven't got a lot of sponsors. So anybody that does sponsor them, thank you very much. To all the supporters who buy tickets and come to the York Hall and come and support us and follow our journey, we all appreciate, every one of us appreciates you. If there's any sponsors out there that want to sponsor all of my boxers or one of my boxers or help out some way financially, please contact me. All my details are either on Evolve Boxing Academy, I think it's 2017, and Evolve Elite 2019. You can track me on any both of them platforms. All my details are on there. And I would like to say a big thank you to my girlfriend for being patient.
Yes, yes, that is great, man. And well, thank you very much for doing this, mate. Maybe when your whole kind of stable's moved along a little bit more, had a few more fights, we can come back and do another interview.
Yeah, you're more than welcome anytime at all. Or, pop down the gym if you ever get the chance. Come and see us down there.
Yes, indeed.
All right.
I'm sure to do that, mate. And so if you're new around here and you haven't subscribed, please do so. Like the video if you like the video, and thanks for